Hey guys, this is Trace. I guess it's time for the final video blog. Um, Basically, what this boils down to is that over the course of this trip, I have realized a few things. Um, I guess one of the first things would be that riding the bike this distance is pretty brutal. Riding it around the neighborhood or going to work and back or commuting or even going on, weekend rides is one thing, and it's a much different experience. But hauling a trailer behind me has been pretty excruciating. I'll ride for 3 hours, and at the end of that, I'm completely done for the day. It's very depleting, and I would almost say it's too much for me at the moment. Um, Beyond all of that, I've gotten to a point where I wasn't able to make any money in Austin or in any part of this journey so far. So I've kind of just been depleting the money that I have saved up. It did cause me to look at a few different things as far as how to get income while I'm traveling around. Um, Doing some writing is definitely one of those things. I talked a little bit about that in the last episode. I did end up getting a laptop, and I wrote an article, and I was looking for gigs on Craigslist and freelancer.com and things like that. And it's promising, but it's also one of those things that I kind of have to build up a reputation. I have to build a portfolio. I have to kind of make a name for myself before I can really um, start to make a decent amount, much less even getting paid with it. So it's one of those things where it's kind of too little too late, in a manner of speaking. I feel like maybe if I'd had a laptop at the beginning and kind of had started this out, or even before I left, had kind of a background in this and started out with that, it'd be one thing. But I'm at the point now where it's I don't really necessarily see how I can continue going. I probably have enough money to go today. I could ride around today and find a camp spot and have enough money for food and everything. But that's just one more day, and there's no foreseeable way in the immediate future that I could make some money. So I'm headed back, and there's a lot of emotional stuff that comes up with that. There's a lot of feeling like a failure or even feeling like a fraud because of how I've portrayed this journey to myself and to others. But I kind of have to come back to the idea that things don't always work out how we think they should, and most of the time they don't. Making plans is useful, but plans are almost useless. So instead of calling this the end of the journey or a failed attempt, I'm going to call this a test run. It's been a great experience. It's shown me a lot. If I'm here, I kind of plan to regroup, restructure, kind of build up a different foundation for myself that will enable me to do this again in the future. Although next time I think that I'll probably just leave the bike at home and just backpack around. I feel like that'll be much easier on me physically and keep me in a little bit more healthy of a state. I've had some issues with making sure I'm eating enough and just depleting myself too much. So those things kind of weigh into it a little bit as well. So I am planning on continuing with the writing stuff. I'm going to be building up a portfolio. I do plan on just getting, I guess, a job at first when I go back. I am kind of considering doing some EMT certification programs. I feel like that's something that I would do well at, and it's something I've always kind of had an interest in, and I seem to maintain a calm state of mind in extraneous circumstances and emergency scenarios. So I feel like that will work out well for me. I'm kind of reminded of a line in the first Matrix movie where after Neo comes in and saves Morpheus, he comes up to him and says, Morpheus, I don't understand the Oracle. She told me, that I'm not the one. It's like, no, the Oracle told you exactly what you needed to hear, and that was it. He continues to say something about, one of these days you'll have to understand there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. And I feel like that's what I kind of have to equate this to, that I had a goal and a direction and a purpose, and I headed out and I started off, and of course things are not ever going to work out how I initially had envisioned them. But I also kind of have to let go of that. Well, I have to, get to a certain point, or I have to make this work. Um, my Tao master would say that it's important to do what's appropriate for the situation. And if I lose my attachment to a specific outcome, or to phrase it differently, that I'm not required to be focused on the results, but that I just make sure I'm in a good state of mind, and I take actions appropriate to the situation, then I realize that I don't necessarily have to continue on. That if I feel like it's not, working out how it needs to, then I can, change my plans. And a lot of that is going to come back to me as far as an emotional state of just accepting what's going on, not fighting against it, and just making the best out of every situation. And so that's kind of where I'm at, where the best course of action for me is to go back, to reset, to try to integrate these things and try to recalibrate and prepare for whenever I head off again, because I definitely am not giving up on the nomadic lifestyle. It's not that at all. I just kind of have to look at this as like I said, a test run. I've learned some things. I think I have a better grasp and understanding of what it takes. So now I get to go back and kind of prepare for that. It's almost like taking a test at school that none of the lessons were really there. The teacher didn't really talk about it. It's just kind of one of those things where, oh, hey, here's this pop quiz. And even though it's one that I signed up for, I'd be hard pressed to find somebody who could, pass it with flying colors on the first time around without having any really background information on it. But now that I've taken the test, and even though in some terms it could be considered a failure, it's also a learning experience. And now I can take that experience and, readjust and study up a little bit more and figure out, okay, well, now this is how I could pass the test. So it's just an experiential thing. The first time doing something, a lot of people would, have a hard time with it or even fail at it. And so I feel like it's a beneficial thing. And if I continue to look at it that way, and I'm gentle with myself, then it can be a very positive thing. And it allows me to, come back stronger for the next round. So I think I may continue to make some video blogs, because I am still, geared towards the nomadic lifestyle. Maybe not to this extreme. Maybe again, just in a different way. So let me know if you guys would like to continue to hear from me. I'll also be doing some writing stuff, so I can kind of keep you guys posted on that. Being as this is the final, bicycle nomad video, I would like to take a moment and thank, everybody who's helped me out along the way, all the friends and strangers that I've met, and been able to stay with, and have been, great hosts for me. I hope that you don't feel put out. I hope that I was able to, put something into your experience that you wouldn't have otherwise, just as you did for me. So I'm very grateful for, all the friends who have supported me, all the people I've met along the way, and most especially to my parents. They have been there to support me through everything, and I really couldn't ask for better parents. So, with all that being said, guys, I hope this video blog series has been, if nothing else, entertaining for you. I hope that you've been able to learn something, or, maybe experience something vicariously through me. But other than that, feel free to leave a comment or on Facebook or on YouTube. Let me know what you guys think, if you want to continue to hear from me, or if you have any suggestions or even questions about, how things went on this that maybe I didn't address already. Until then, I will see you guys next time.